in Ukraine, and 60 out of them were boxers. So true warriors that were warriors in the ring, inside of the ring, and unfortunately lost their lives to defend the democracy and freedom in Ukraine.
That's definitely a plight. And with that being said, the legacy that you've actually allowed to bring all these years, what does it mean to you when you are already there and you see somebody like Vasily Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk also following that legacy?
Ukraine has a lot of talented people and talented boxers. And look at this, for how many decades now, Ukrainians were dominating the heavyweight division. And not only, you mentioned other athletes as well, but speaking of the heavyweight division, it is actually pretty remarkable. I don't know any other nation that's been so dominant in one division for such a long period of time.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being part of this history, and we look forward to enjoying this evening.
Thank you so much.
Gracias a ti.
Here on the red carpet with Mr. Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson, this is all about celebrating over 100 years of history for the Ring magazine, the new era. Just want to show you this photo. If you can see that.
Best of 15, fight of the year.
When you see that, fresh-faced, not really aged at all, apart from the beard, to be honest with you, but how does that make you feel? And when you appeared on the front cover of such a prestigious magazine, what memories did that evoke?
A long time ago, when I beat Klitschko, beat the #1 in the world to become the #1, and it was an epic memory.
And you are a boxing historian. Everyone who knows you says that they can bring up a fight and a date, and you can tell them all about it. What does the Bible of boxing mean to boxing and to you?
It's an absolute holy grail of the boxing world. I've been a big advocate for Ring magazine over my long career. I've been a champion of it twice, and I'm looking to be 3 times champion on Saturday night.
And you've won every belt there is to win, but just finally, does that belt feel a little bit different when you win that Ring magazine championship, and if so, why?
It's always been a very special boxing belt, the Ring magazine. It's always been held dear to all top boxers to their heart, so it's a very special belt for sure.
And you're looking fantastic, by the way, I must.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tyson Fury in the house. Thank you.
Show me the money, Cuba Gooding Jr. It's so good to have you here.
So good to be here. It's my second time in Saudi Arabia, and it's magical. It's a magical time every time. Before it was for Saudi Arabian Film Festival, and now for this boxing match. And I've been a huge fan of boxing for most of my adult life. So.
I know for a fact you've been following boxing for a long time, and let's talk about the legacy of Ring magazine and what it means for us boxing fans.
Yeah, you know, it's the true pugilistic art form. You know, it's not to take away from MMA fighting, but the thing about boxing is there was an art to it, and you know, now they have ground and pound where you can hit the guy, whereas when you're boxing, you get 8 seconds to recover, so that you know you might score on your opponent, but at the same time you give him a moment to compose himself, and then you go back to the game. Even though you don't play boxing, it's a fight. But there's something about the simplicity of that and the history behind that it's romantic, it's attractive, it's sexy. It's why we see these mismatch events, and still we're attracted to it because anything can happen.
That's true. Any given day.
Any given day.
Any given day.
Any given left hook.
And with that being said, when we see all these covers, obviously it walks us through 102 years worth of history. And I walked you right here because I know you have a favorite. Who might that be?
Well, Sugar Ray Robinson, you know, he did it at a time where, I mean, if you think about Floyd Mayweather and you think about Muhammad Ali, these guys were flashy and they were flamboyant. Sugar Shane Mosley, who I walked in the ring when he fought Margarito, and they had to do the thing with the raps, if everybody remembers that. That's right. Yes. But Sugar Ray Robinson, I think he had a chimpanzee with him, and he had a little person with him, and he had like a circus act because he knew that people wanted to see the event. They wanted to see the grandeur around it, and it's why I became an actor, so I can entertain the people.
Give me a little bit of that story with Sugar Shane. And then Sugar Ray. That's
right. Well, that's what I was saying. Sugar Shane Mosley, I walked him in the ring when he fought Margarito, and we've been friends ever since. And it was something he was telling me, how the spirit of Sugar Ray Robinson lives in him because he's got that speed and that flamboyance, and he took each punch personally. And if you see Sugar Shane Mosley fight, if he got tired but he really got caught, you see him just wake up, and before you know it, he was just touching. Fast.
Wow. We might have another career. Thank you. Enjoy your night.
By the way, can we just talk about the walk away there? I love it. He hit the bag, then he walked away. Darren Barker's with me in studio. So many celebs making their way up the red carpet into this magnificent venue. Do you remember Cuba Gooding Jr.'s boxing movie?
I do.
What was it called?
I don't know the name.
Gladiator.
That's it.
Gladiator, yes. Fantastic movie. That's why he's got hands, because he had to, obviously, I'm guessing, train for that movie.
Absolutely.
Look at that. The great Michael Buffer. Look at the voice of boxing alongside Tommy Shaw. Does this guy never age?
Doesn't age.
Can I just go and speak to him, please, and ask him how he's doing this? Because he has been the same since his program.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. He hasn't changed as Mario Lopez is here. Great to see actors here as well. That's one thing that boxing does. You know, you think of those big events now in Saudi Arabia, in Vegas, in London, where you look ringside and it is actors, it's musicians, it's boxers. This event has that.
It's always had the appeal of boxing. It stood the test of time, and so is this magazine. It's credible. You know, it's the holy grail of boxing, and you can see what it means to everybody here. You know, they're buzzing. They're all fans. They're rubbing shoulders. I'm seeing, you know, these guys having photos with Roberto Duran, as I am.
Yeah,
you know,
1 second. Put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. And not just them, him. He's been out there fanning everyone. I see you. He's been sending photos back to his dad as well, and rightly so, because we are looking at the biggest names in the sport of boxing here with us tonight. And it is good to see them all gather together. And by the way, what we did see earlier, Darren Barker's in the Ring magazine. We caught a glimpse of you in the ring. You've made it. How did that feel, though, when you saw it?
Incredible.
Because you didn't know it was there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be here, but I remember when I won the world title in August, and I was desperately waiting for the Ring magazine to come out so I could see myself. Well, hope that I would be in the magazines. I also wanted to be in the rankings. I made number 2 in the rankings, champion Sergio Martinez, then myself, and to see myself in there, to see myself here, it's a pinch me moment. I was just stood down here with Andy Lee. I said, can you remember us as kids boxing? And now we're involved in this incredible occasion. The Ring magazine, I mean, it's special. It really is special.
That really is. And there's so many special people as well, so many special fighters. And one fighter that is here is the pound for pound king fight this Saturday night. I'm talking about Alexander Usyk, and he's with Claudio Trejos.
Ring magazine, you're on the cover. What does it mean to you? 102 years of history.
It's great for me, for my family, for my country. Listen, Ring magazine. It's a big history, long time. I'm in the guy. Wow. My daughter, my son said, "Wow, Papa, family, please."
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Claudio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
very happy to say I am here on the red carpet with IBF World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Daniel Dubois. Daniel, when you arrive at an event like this, legends of the past, modern greats like yourself, of course, as World Heavyweight Champion, what does it mean to you to be here tonight celebrating the new era of the Ring magazine?
Yeah, it's good sharing this moment and these memories. It's really it's inspirational and iconic. The Ring magazine has been in the sport a long time, so yeah, it's all good.
What would it mean to you? Obviously, you have that IBF World Heavyweight Championship, but what would it mean to you to one day to appear on maybe the front cover, or also, of course, perhaps win that prestigious belt one day?
I want to win, definitely win that belt, and you know, as you guys know, this weekend the Undisputed. So just keep collecting titles, keep collecting them belts. That's what we got to do. And
in terms of your pick, who have you got in the main event?
I'm standing on the fence here. May the best man win, and I'll fight the winner. I want the winner.
And also, do you have your eye on some legends? Anyone you'd like to meet tonight?
I've already seen a few of them. They're just men like me, so they're nothing special. No, it's good. I see the Lennox Lewis, top guys.
Triple D, enjoy tonight. You're looking very sharp. Have a great time.
This is the man of the party. He just turned 83.
10 more years.
No, it's 80. No, actually, it's 73. But it's so wonderful to have you here, Bob. And nobody knows better than you what Ring Magazine means to boxing.
Absolutely, and to see it celebrated the way it is now blows my mind. Because when I started in this sport, Ring Magazine was really Ring Magazine. It meant so much in the sport, and then it sort of, like other publications, faded into oblivion. And now to bring it back this way is such a great tribute.
And when you look at all these covers, and you've been involved in pretty much every single fight in one way or another, what does that mean to you?
Well, you understand, some of these covers were before I was even born.
I know.
It's so long ago. Yeah, but the ones that covered when I was in the sport were always treasured. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler and Durant and Ali, of course. And now to see them come to life again is really something special.
Well, it's very special to have you here. I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you for joining us. And he's actually 53.
He still moves like he is 53. Bob Arum, 93, incredible. Mario Lopez there, who, by the way, I mean, can throw hands as well. Mario Lopez obviously likes to train, likes to keep fit and in shape. And Mario Lopez doing what Mario Lopez does, a little dancing, a little moving. I like it, I like it. Again, we said about the superstars that are here. Jamie Ward is with, I think, the best cruiserweight on planet Earth.
Here with IBF and Ring Magazine, cruiserweight champion of the world, Mr. Jai Opataya. Jai, holding that Ring Magazine belt, as well as, of course, your other world title, what does that mean to you and why?
Man, you know, it's a massive accomplishment. You know, I'm proud of myself and how far I've come, but I'm far from finished. You know, I've got a lot more hard work to do, so, you know, I'm not comfortable.
And as a boxer, but looking back as well, at one point you were just a young boy with big dreams. What's the Ring Magazine meant to you as a fight fan that you were at one point growing up?
It's huge, man, you know. The Ring Magazine, I feel like, is the top of the belts. You know, I feel like the best fighter has the Ring Magazine, so to hold it, you know, it sort of cements that. But when I once was a little kid, you know, and being here around, you know, greatness, you know, Lennox Lewis, Teddy Atlas, it's crazy. You know, I grew up watching these guys. You know, Lennox Lewis was like a superhero to me when I used to watch him on TV. So to be here and him also know who I am, man, the hard work is paying off, you know. But like I said, we are far from comfortable.
I do have to ask you, obviously, you've got a big fight coming up with David Anika early next year. But Alexander Usyk has said this week he wouldn't necessarily disagree with perhaps one day dropping back down to cruiserweight should he beat Tyson Fury this weekend. What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, like you said, I do have a good fight coming up January 8th, so I'm fully focused on that. But I would respectfully love to share the ring with such a fighter. You know, Usyk is one of the best fighters of our generation, and I believe in my ability to match that. You know, I believe it's going to take a good boxer to sort of beat him. So, you know, why not?
You'd go the other way as well, I assume, up to heavyweight?
When the heavyweight chapter comes, it comes, you know, but there's no rush. You know, I make cruiserweight pretty easy. You know, we're very professional with the way we make it. There's no rush. You know, we've got a lot of boxers that stick as a cruiserweight first, but you know, that heavyweight division, you know, it's exciting though to be able to go up there.
Joe, have a wonderful night and best of luck in the rest of camp as well. Thanks for joining us.
I have to admit, I am probably the biggest fan member of the Jai Pattaya fan club. Fantastic fighter, current IBF champion, Chris Eubank Jr. in the house as well. So many big name boxers. Look, I mean, you know how big a fan I am of that man, Dimitri Bivol. Again, February 22nd, he takes on Artur Beterbiev. I'm thinking, who is the best boxer in this building so far? Who is it? Who do you think?
You'd have to say Usyk.
Usyk? I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to one-up you. Roberto Duran, and he's with Claudio Trejos.
Estamos con el mismísimo Mano de Piedra Durán. Roberto, gracias por estar con nosotros.
Gracias por la invitación. Un saludo a toda la
Dios, son tantos años involucrados en el boxeo, pero son 102 años de la revista Ring Magazine. ¿Qué significa para ti?
Bueno, yo creo que yo soy el boxeador que más he salido en el Ring Magazine y es una de las revistas más importantes en toda parte del mundo y me siento contento de haber salido como 10 veces en Ring Magazine, soy el único y me alegro de todas esas cosas. De lo bueno que siempre escribe Ring Magazine es explicándole la vida de los boxeadores, que es bueno.
It's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I think I am the boxer that has had more covers than any, over 10 covers, and it's very nice to know that Ring Magazine does a great job throughout history telling the stories of all the fighters. So again, thank you very much for joining us and enjoy your night. Gracias por estar con nosotros y disfruta tu noche. Un placer verte.
Gracias, mamá, gracias.
Gracias a ti. Gracias.
Boxing royalty, not exactly few and far between here down on the red carpet tonight. Here with Mr. Cole Froch, and I do have to show you this again. Can you see that? Cole, how does it make you feel looking back at this young, fresh-faced chap?
Did a good job, didn't he, that surgeon? That old hooter. No, listen, he's really proud. I was pound for pound number 6 for the Ring Mag. I beat Lucian Butte after losing to Andre Ward, and Butte was like was he ring champ or was he number 1? But I just lost to Ward, then I beat Butte. But yeah, my sort of presence in the Ring Magazine, it was a very proud time for me because, like I said earlier, I was number 6 pound for pound in the world, and for me to be in the top 10 pound for pound, that's pretty special. But the Ring Mag's like, it's the Bible, isn't it? The Bible of boxing. So you've got to give it its credit and its acknowledgement. I've got the covers that I was on the rig and the little write-ups I've got them on my wall in my gym because it's like the best. The best mag to be in for sure. I sound a bit throaty. I flew to Lapland too. It's -20. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Spain. I'm now back here. Oh mate, I'm in bits. So just if I fall over, catch me.
Just finally, how exciting is it? Obviously, the physical copy is making a return after a 2-year hiatus. You just said there you've got them up in the gyms. How exciting is it for the champions of tomorrow to be able to have that same luxury and see themselves and hold it and see themselves on the cover?
You know what? You just told me something there I didn't know. So that's just started to publish it again. That's really good. That's exciting because obviously it's all dead now, isn't it? Magazines and publishing actual paperbacks of stuff. But no, they're bringing that back. So has that been announced because of the takeover by Turki Al-Sheikh?
This is the new era.
No, excellent. No, I like that. It's really good because, you know, boxing is nice. It's nice to look at something physical and keep hold of it and read it on a train or read it when you're flying rather than looking at your device. I know it's old school, but I'm 47, mate, so I like a magazine.
And what would you say? There is a lot of your peers here tonight. Best behaviour?
Yeah, mate, I'm always on good behaviour now. I'm growing up now. I'm an old man now. Still got it though.
The Cobra's in the house. Carl, pleasure to speak to you. Enjoy tonight. Have a great night. Thank you.
80,000, right? Yeah, 80,000 at Wembley. Carl the Cobra Froch. Good to see him here, though, Darren.
Yeah, looking in great shape. I must say that Daniel Dubois said that he's going to see Carl Froch and he's going to tell him that he's beaten his record.
The big man from the world of football, Neymar, in the building as well. Loves his boxing, Neymar. We always see him at the Riyadh season events. So it's good to see Neymar here as well. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo could be coming as well. So a few stars. Yeah, not bad. It's a couple of big stars from the world of football, but he does love his boxing. Great to see Neymar here. Good to see Carl here. Barry Jones is there as well, by the way. Barry Jones is ringside, former world champion. Let's give him his credit as well. I want to play that game with you, actually. Okay, so we had Roberto Duran. I think we can all agree so far, number one.
Yeah,
number one out there.
Yeah. Sorry, when I said Usyk, I thought you meant current.
No, you didn't.
Fighter.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm going Duran as well.
You're going Duran, yeah? You're going Duran.
Yeah.
Usyk.
Usyk.
Lennox below Usyk. I love this game. We can do this game all night. I can trip you up very quickly on this game. One fighter that might get in that list in a couple of years' time is my favourite fighter, Dimitri Bivol. He's with Claudia.
Dimitri Bivol with us, celebrating the relaunch of Ring Magazine. Thank you for joining us. What does this mean to you?
Thank you. It's the most famous magazine in boxing society, and I'm here celebrating. Of course, it means a lot. I couldn't imagine when I was a child that one day I could be the part of this event and doing some interview. I'm happy.
You couldn't imagine it? What were you thinking as you were growing up and you saw Ring Magazine? Was it ever like a dream of saying, I will be there?
No. It wasn't in my head. It was like I could be in some pages in the future, yeah. But it's good. And to be honest, I'm happy that Ring Magazine has some new era. He has some new energy, maybe, yeah, to be more famous. It's great.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I am here with boxing royalty, Mr. Teddy Atlas. Teddy, when you think about the Ring Magazine, I've asked everyone who has arrived here tonight, but through history, what has it meant to the sport and what does it mean to you personally as well?
Well, it means teaching. It means teaching people that don't know the history of boxing that they can learn the greatness of the fighters that they don't readily know. You know, the fighters of the past. This is a sport that's been around longer than any other sport. And there's too many people, especially young, that they know about baseball, they know about basketball, they know about football, because that history is readily available. They don't know about the great fighters from the 1920s to 30s to 40s, where they had 200 pro fights, 250 pro fights. You had guys like Homicide Hank, Henry Armstrong, Homicide Hank. You had Sam Langford, who fought from lightweight to heavyweight and beat everybody in the 20s. You had guys that had 130 knockouts. Forget about 130 fights, 139. You had guys like Henry Armstrong, who fought 30, 35 times, several times in a year. That's a career today. People should know about those great fighters, the history of this great sport. Again, a sport that's been around longer than any other sport. Ring Magazine makes sure that that history will be known. And that's invaluable. It's so important. It will teach young people why these guys are important in history, what made them great, what they overcame to be great. You know, they didn't just do it because of physical talent, because they were quick, they were strong. No, they became champions despite the difficulties that they had to deal with during times where there was, quite frankly, more difficulties than there are today. They should know about that, because then they will learn what it takes to be great.
Certainly a little bit of incredible insight there, by the way, into what the Ring magazine is all about. The great Teddy Atlas in the house.
Teddy's here, as is their former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Vladimir Klitschko. Mario Lopez is getting everywhere today. Honestly, he's going to have one of those Apple Watches where he counts these steps and he's realised he's done like 20,000 steps. That's a great photo there between two people famous in their own rights, in their own fields, Mario Lopez and Vladimir Klitschko. And look who is in the building as well. The man responsible for all of this, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority. There with Gareth A. Davis, another man that gets everywhere. But Turki is in the building and he will be taking his seat to get this show started very, very soon. Look who's joined me in studio. Great to have you. Mr. Barry Jones, you can say something, Barry. They want to hear your lovely voice.
Until I see my face, I don't talk.
No, you can talk. It's okay. Today's one of those shows where we can kind of do what we want to do.
Yeah. Just come from the press conference.
How was the press conference?
It was quite subdued for a while, and then Fury and Usyk literally stood for maybe 15 minutes.
Fantastic. Very, very interesting. All right, let's talk about the Ring magazine. Your thoughts. When I say Ring magazine, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Fighter of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Because even though it means nothing really, but when you're a kid, it's everything. Because you want your fighter to be Fighter of the Year. So I was born in the 70s, really. I'm an 80s kid. Yeah. And so my hero was Sugar Ray Leonard, and I loved him with all my heart. And I did more rounds shadow boxing with Sugar Ray Leonard than I've done in the ring as myself. That is the truth.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get his Fighter of the Year soon, in terms of right now, very soon. But a guy that made his boxing debut and nearly shocked the world last year is in the building. I'm talking about the Predator, Francis Ngannou, and he's with another member of the team, seeing him for the first time tonight, Dev Sani.
Well, I don't know if you're going to get us both in shot, because this man is absolutely enormous. The man mountain that is Francis Ngannou has joined us. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good, thank you.
You look good, you look sharp.
Trying to look like you.
Oh, stop, you're charming me. Listen, we're here for Ring magazine. It's kind of the rejuvenation tonight. And I know for so many years as a child you dreamt of being a boxer. Was Ring magazine coming to you? Were you looking through those pages thinking that'll be me one day?
Yeah, I mean, at first to be a boxing fan, it was quite heartbreaking to see boxing like fade, like he was fading, and then now since last year it looks like we are witnessing the reincarnation of boxing again. You know, everything is coming back into life. Boxing is having back his glory days, you know, which is fantastic, which is great to watch even from outside. Is something magnificent, you know, because in the past couple of years, we haven't. I'm not sure that we have had like so much event with so many people, so many enthusiasm around it about when it comes to boxing. You know, I think it was faded. Even the audience was dropping, and then now he's rising up. And I think this is everything that the sport needed.
I love to hear that, and I love to hear the enthusiasm and the love that you have for boxing. We're going to see you in a boxing ring again. I know it, Francis.
Well, that's my goal. My goal is to take advantage on this one couple more time before go home. You know, I mean, at this point, there is not so many from me, but there's still a few, and then you know, it's just about to enjoy them, you know, and also be grateful for the blessing, for everything that have happened around it. I never knew, nobody ever knew that I could have be here, I could have this opportunity, or again, to witness this area not in the ring side, but in the ring. So it's something very exceptional that we are living here. And then starting last year, and again, I was blessed enough to be part of the beginning of this, you know, the very beginning. of the battle of the baddest, which was for me, as far as this reincarnation that we are talking about goes, the battle of the baddest is a legend.
It is a legend. You are a legend. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Francis.
Thank you, Dave.
That was the Predator, Francis Ngannou, and maybe soon we will see him back in the ring.
Okay, I see what you did there, Dev. I see what you did there. It's getting busy, isn't it? This man is now in the house, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, who's done incredible things with the sport of boxing in the last 14 to 18 months. And, I've kind of seen what he's got planned as well for the next 6 to 7 months. I think it'll blow your mind what he's got planned, Barry.
I got no doubt about it, because every show blows your mind. And, you think, what can they do now? What can they do now? And then something else comes into it. There we go, there's Joseph Parker.
There you go, the big man Joseph Parker. Obviously takes on Daniel Dubois. It's February 22nd.
Maybe the man who's benefited most from Riyadh.
Oh, there you go, Mr. James Bond himself. He loves that shot, doesn't he? Mr. Eddie. I knew it, look, I knew it. Look at that. Look at that, Eddie Hearn. Loving it. But honestly, all down to this man, his vision, all the fights he wants to see as well. I mentioned superstars in the building. We did see him a bit earlier, Neymar. Let's hear from Neymar now. He's with Jamie Wood.
Here on the red carpet, as if he needs an introduction, the one and only Neymar. And I just have to ask you, Neymar, you just said you're not a fighter, but that shadow boxing wasn't bad. Ever done a bit of boxing?
Yeah, I watch boxing. I have friends, some fighters, so I'm happy to come to the event, in Saudi Arabia, because it's my home now. So I'm happy to be here.
And you've been ringside for big fights. What do you enjoy about watching big-time boxing?
So I not understand everything in the fighting, but I enjoy the sport, because the sport is save human. So I'm happy to watching this guy.
In terms of the main event, can we get a quick prediction? Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk? Who do you believe wins?
It's a good fight. It's the best fighter in the world, so 50-50.
A pleasure. Neymar, the GOATs are in the house. Unbelievable.
The GOATs are in the house. So many expected as well. I'm hearing Speed might come. I don't know why I'm obsessed with seeing Speed, because he's so famous. I'm obsessed with seeing him. I'm hearing he's going to come as well. That Cristiano Ronaldo could make an appearance. But it's all that, isn't it? That sign there was perfect, Barry. A new era of boxing.
It really is, and the Ring magazine has been it was the first magazine. I was an 80s kid, and it was one of the first magazines I get.
Yeah.
You want to read the ratings, who was top, who was the pound for pound ratings, of course, which is synonymous with the Ring magazine. And just let's not forget, American fights, back in the UK, they weren't on TV. You had to read about them, and that was the magazine where you read about them. Like your heroes like Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Duran, all your favourites, Aguero, Sanchez, were all from this magazine.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to have spoken to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh a few times, and his passion for the sport and his excitement about the sport. And I saw a lovely image of him going past Johnny Fisher yesterday, and he said, "Johnny, where's your dad?" He knows the stories of everyone, not just the fighters, but the people surrounding the fighters as well. And I think that's important.
Of course it is. You want obviously a man who has an understanding of business and how to propel a sport into the forefront, but also to have a passion and a love for the sport, so you do it for the best of it, so you see the best fight the best. That's all we ever want to see.
Yeah.
We just want to see the best fight the best, and that's what we've had here. And people's got that game changer has been used way too often. But that's what it's been.
Yeah, this is a game changer. There's no two ways about it. It's a game changer. The fighters want to come over here, and it's not just the fighters as well. Again, we've seen actors, Cuba Gooding Jr., Mario Lopez. We've seen other sports stars. Everyone now wants this all together, don't they?
They do. This is. Listen, I've been watching fights since the 80s. My first fight in 1984. That's how old I am. And
you're that old?
I am that old.
I did not know that.
I was a schoolboy, but still, and that was the golden era in the 80s for me. But this now, what we're getting now, I think rivals any decade, any generation. It really does. The fights we're getting, the fights we're seeing, the cards that we're having to watch. I mean, we're having to watch some cards that they're all top of the bills.
Is it because we're getting to see these cards so often? Obviously in the 80s, Don King era, and we had some great cards in the 90s and the noughties, but they were kind of few and far between Now it does feel like there is a great card, again, due to the man we just saw on the screen, every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and I think that's important because with the only sport, one of the only sports that don't have a fixture list. So we don't plan, we can't plan ahead. But no, there is a plan in place. There are talks about leagues being put into place. There are competitions outside of just 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
With the 5 versus 5 that we had with Matchroom and Queensbury. So all these things to keep the sport regular all the time and big regular. That's why football is so successful, because every week there's a big match somewhere. And now, if that's boxing, what boxing becomes, not just fights every week, there's a big fight every week somewhere. Whatever it is, that's very important. And that'll draw a new audience then, because you fall in love with your fighter, because you see them all the time, you identify with them.
Yeah, we just heard from Roberto Duran there. He said he's been in front of the ring cover more times than anyone else. I don't know. There's one man who I think could have been on the cover more than him, and that's the great Oscar De La Hoya, and he's with Dev Sani.
Hello.
Okay, I am delighted to be in the company of Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, and this magazine, a special place in your heart, Oscar.
It does have a special place in my heart. I bought it many years ago, making sure that the tradition stays alive. The Ring magazine is a staple in boxing. It's the Bible of boxing, and any information you want to receive from boxing, you have the Ring magazine to give you that exact, perfect message to the world of boxing. So I just strongly feel that Ring magazine is a brand that is going to live forever, especially now that Turki Al Sheikh is taking over and making sure that he takes it to the next level.
Listen, it must have been hard to let it go, but I guess you've given it to the perfect hands.
No, it wasn't hard at all. I knew that a man with his passion, a man with his integrity, will secure the legacy and make sure that it lives on forever.
Thank you very much, Oscar De La Hoya. The Golden Boy is in town.
Roberto Duran there with Turki Al Sheikh. Turki always says that's his favorite fighter, the great Roberto Duran. When I think of the Ring magazine, because of my age, the name that I associate with the Ring magazine is the guy standing to my left, the editor-in-chief, Mr. Dougie Fisher. It's true, Dougie. I'm saying this to you, honestly. When I think of Ring magazine, I think of you. I think of you and the job that you've done. When you see this now, it being ushered into the new era, what does that mean for you?
This is amazing. I never thought I'd see the day. I grew up on magazines. I'm a magazine aficionado, not just boxing, but all magazines. I love print publications. I love hard copy. But I never thought that the Ring would have a life beyond 100 years as a hard copy print publication, as a monthly magazine. So to see it relaunched and to see it given a celebration like this, I never thought I'd see it. I heard that the 75th anniversary of Ring magazine, which took place in Atlantic City, was a big deal. Muhammad Ali was there, and champions going back, the champions from the 50s who were still alive were all there. And I thought to myself, because this is like 1997, and I just started as a young member of the media, and I was like, man, I missed it. I'm not going to see anything like that. And I had hoped that we would be able to do it for its 100th birthday, but the little thing called a pandemic kind of
derailed a few things.
So, but I mean, we could have never done it this big. I mean, I've never seen the Ring logo literally that big. Never.
It's enormous.
It's neon. Even,
it's crazy.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's crazy. Dougie, stick with us. We're going to hear so much more from you. I do want to hear from this promoter. He talks a lot, maybe not as much as the promoter we just saw, but he certainly talks about Eddie Hearns with Jamie Ward.
Well, the main man has just arrived at the red carpet, Mr. Eddie Hearn. Eddie, just turn that to the camera. The front cover, look at this.
What a glow up.
You were a bit slimmer back then.
Yeah, I was about 4 stone heavier back then, but yeah, what was it? The barnet and everything. Listen, I remember when I got, that's that Ring magazine cover shoot. That was pretty mega at the time.
If you don't like the photo, bad news, it's in massive copies of it over there. A quick question, Eddie. The Bible of boxing, what does it mean to the sport and what does it mean to you?
Look, I think boxing, you know, and the Ring magazine is synonymous with legacy, history, credibility. You know, it's a magazine that I would find on my dad's desk growing up, in the gym, at Matchroom in the 80s. Everybody would read it. For me, one of the most pleasing things is that it's back in print, because I don't know anyone who reads a magazine online. I'm sure there are millions. I couldn't think of anything worse. I want to open it, I want to see it, I want to have a coffee with it, I want to sit on the toilet with it, I want to be in a gym with it, and that's what I think His Excellency's doing. He's bringing it back to life, and the brand is extremely popular and powerful.
The name is Hearn, Eddie Hearn. Eddie, thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful
Cheers.
Eddie Hearn. I have to talk about himself quite a bit, doesn't he, Mr. Eddie Hearn? The people are starting to take their seats. I say the people, the celebrities, the superstars. Lennox Lewis there, one of the best heavyweights of all time, is in the building as well. And there's another promoter that is here. We heard from Oscar, we heard from Eddie. Let's hear from boxer promoter Ben Shalom with Dev Sani.
Okay, well, look who's here. Mr. Ben Shalom in town. And I guess this magazine, you're a big boxing fan. This is special, isn't it?
It is special. I think I was saying before that you grow up with the magazine, but I think when you become a promoter and you have a fighter that gets the Ring magazine belt, it's almost like there's all this talk about who's the better champion and who's this and who's that. But when you've got the Ring magazine belt, it's almost like a badge and honor that you are the number one. I think we need that in boxing. I think it's an amazing brand, a prestigious brand, probably not had the love and attention that it deserves over the past 5 or 10 years, but now it's going to have it. And I think, as I said, I think the main thing for me, yes, is great, but we're going to have a great coverage of the sport, and we're going to have all the amplification that the Ring can bring to the sport, but being able to decide who the best in the division is and building that brand and building the prestige of winning that Ring magazine belt, I think that's massive.
There's something so special about that particular belt. It's just like it erases all questions. Who's the guy? It's that guy. We need that.
It is, and as I said, you have so many unifications these days, so many different champions, and I think it's the one thing that when you speak to someone that doesn't follow boxing, when you speak to a casual sports fan, and the biggest criticism of boxing is we don't really understand what's going on. There's too many belts. Well, there's not one champion. I think in boxing you're always going to have the governing bodies, but to be able to have something that signifies this man is the best, I think it's very special, and it really does. I think when you see someone with the Ring magazine belt, subconsciously, as a promoter, as a manager, as a fan, you accept that they're the best in the division. I think that's very special.
Are you looking to get on the cover anytime soon?
I would like to be in the cover, yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. We will see indeed. Well, Ben Shalom one day may make it to the cover of Ring magazine. Back to you.
And we're here with Mauricio Sulaiman, the president for the WBC. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Why don't you share with us, this is a beautiful belt.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle belt. It's going to be awarded to the winner. You have Fury, you have Usyk, and you have all the elements of Africa. These are the... Try. It's very... These teeth. If you touch it, it's very, very sharp on the skin. So, all the Africa concepts, and of course, Riyadh season. And the winner will take home this beauty.
50 years celebrating, and of course, we're adding to the celebration. First of all, you're here with us. Thank you very much. And we're celebrating 102 years and the relaunch for Ring magazine. You're born and raised watching this. What does this mean to you?
It means everything, because the Ring is a history of boxing. Before radio, before telephone, before television, there was a Ring, and it was a record book. And the magazines that kept the whole world of boxing informed, communicated, the statistics, matchmakers, everything used the ring record book as a guidance. The stories in every magazine, in every moment, people just waiting eagerly to receive their copy. It's just a great story, rebirth and reloaded.
And of course, this celebration could not be happening without you, because you've been part of this history. Thank you, Mauricio, for being with us. Enjoy your night. And of course, I'm going to see you tomorrow at the weigh-ins.
Thank you, Claudia, and long live the ring.
Amen.
Amen.
Down here with former world champion Cole Frampton, and also Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year in 2016. Still brings a little smile to your face, Cole.
That's the biggest achievement, I think. Someone described it before to me as the Ballon d'Or of boxing, so I'll take that.
When you say that, like considering the world title you won, when you think about that, do you still class that as the biggest achievement? Yeah. Truly, what does the ring and the Bible of boxing mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. I would have loved to have won a belt outright and become a undisputed Ring Magazine champion, but that wasn't to be. I was a unified champion in a super bantamweight division. I had a great year in 2016 and beat Scott Quigg to unify, and then moved up to featherweight and beat Leo Santa Cruz. And I was up against some big names. I mean, I get a wee bit embarrassed about it because there's better fighters than me that were nominated for it, but the year that I had that year probably just about deserved it.
When you think about the future as well, this is called the new era of the Ring Magazine. What excites you about the future across all cases?
Well, I mean, boxing at the minute is absolutely flying. It is the sport of sports at the minute. I think Michael Buffer talked about, and I've said this a long time, that the heavyweight title in boxing is the greatest prize in sport. And whoever wins here Saturday night between Tyson and Usyk will be able to say they have the greatest prize in sport, in my opinion anyway. But it's massive, and all the fights that we're getting out here in Saudi at the minute. And look at these events. Well, I've been involved in boxing since I was 7 years old, so almost 30 years next year. I've never seen anything like this.
It is special.
Very, very special.
The Jackal, Cole Frampton. Cole, have a lovely night. Thanks very much for talking to us as well, top man.
Thank you for joining us. What a beautiful event, and you make it complete after an outstanding win against Samuel Williams. And now you're here with us celebrating 102 years of history. Yeah. What does that mean to you?
Do you know, it's an honor, to say the least. It's a huge, huge honor to be a part of boxing, especially when the Ring Magazine's back. And I've always said His Excellency has brought back boxing to how it used to be back in the olden days, and back when the best used to fight the best. And especially now with the Ring Magazine coming back, it's the cherry on top.
Just between you and I, who dressed you? Because that is a very dapper suit.
Thank you very much. I got a tailor who I live out in Dubai, and I've got a tailor out there who does all my suits for me. So a massive shout out to him.
There you go. Does he dress ladies?
Yes, of course. Of course. Whatever you want, he does it all.
Hook me up.
I will do, 100%.
In the meantime, enjoy your night.
Thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you.
All the excitement with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice little buzz cut there for Hamza Shiraz, looking dapper. Big fight for him against Carlos Adames. Remember, February 22nd, WBC middleweight title on the line. They're starting to take their seats for dinner. Going to be a bit of a light show as well. Some music. Francis Ngannou. That's a nice collective, isn't it? Len Blavatnik there, the owner of DAZN. Turkin Al-Sheikh, Francis Ngannou. Daniel Dubois in the building, the current IBF heavyweight champion. He takes on the big man, Joseph Parker. And Joseph Parker is with Jamie Wood.
Here with former world heavyweight champion Mr. Joseph Parker. Now, Joseph, when you think about the Ring magazine and its role in boxing, it's a worldwide organisation, a worldwide magazine. Any memories seeing it in the shops growing up in New Zealand?
You know what? Funny you bring it up. I do remember walking into the shop when I was younger in New Zealand. New Zealand is not the biggest market of boxing, but I do remember walking to the shop and seeing the magazine. I was very young though. Could I read? I think I could read at the time. And
you can see the pictures.
I could see the pictures, but it did have the magazine had fighters, present fighters, old fighters, news about boxing. So I think I haven't seen it for a while.
And this is a real night of celebration. It's a new era for the Ring. What does it mean to be here tonight with so many of your peers?
I think it's incredible. It's incredible to be here all together, not only just to celebrate the Ring and the magazine and everything else, but the fights that we're going to have this weekend. So it's going to be amazing.
Daniel Dubois is here. Yeah. As is Tyson Fury, as is Alexander Usyk. But how's everything going with you? A big night coming up next year.
Massive night. Not only for myself and Daniel Dubois, but it's a massive card itself, you know. I'm just happy to be involved in such a big card and the opportunity to fight for the championship of the world again. And I'm going to give it my best foot going forward, and I'm going to win. Two-time world champion.
How does two-time sound, by the way?
Two-time? Oh, sounds very good.
Joseph, great to see you, my friend, and enjoy tonight.
Collective has been assembled. Darren Barker, Sergio Mora, Barry Jones, Adi Oladipo. So you've been in the magazine. You've been on the cover of the magazine.
I've been in the ratings.
Right, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it was black and white though when Barry was in it.
And you had a little short clipping in page 36.
Okay, Sergio, we know you had the cover. Has a presenter ever been on the cover of the Ring magazine? Does that happen?
One day.
I'm pitching now. I'm pitching early. Because it's a new era and it's a new dawn. That's why. This has been an incredible event. Obviously, they are taking their dinner behind us, all the biggest stars in the world, Barry. But this has been something special, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it really has. You know, again, it just shows the importance of this magazine. You know, how many times have we said, you know, we got all the different belts, but sometimes you just go, who's the champion? And it's the Ring magazine. You refer to that. It's easier and simpler, and because it has that gravitas and reputation it has, it's just easier. They pick who they think's the best, and you tend to just go along with their opinion. I think that's what the strength that it has. So to bring it here and to get all these champions together, that's because of the respect they have for the magazine.
Sergio, we haven't heard much from you today. You've just been out there just taking photos of famous boxers. Of the photos you took, Sergio, who out there is your favorite fighter? So many big names out there. Who have you seen today? It's like, okay, that's my favorite fighter.
I'll tell you who's my least, Darren Barker, but my favorite was Las Manos de Piedra was out there, Roberto Duran. I mean, 4-weight world champion, great Panamanian, great. That's the man that I'm still in awe with.
Look at that there, Francis Ngannou, Lennox Lewis. That's how big Francis Ngannou is, by the way, because Lennox Lewis wasn't a small heavyweight. Cuba Gooding Jr. in the building as well. Darren, you've been mingling outside as well. Who have you seen?
Do you know what? This is incredible. This has brought the fan out in all of the boxers.
It really has.
You know, all the fighters having, look, we've seen Bill have photos with Roberto Duran. We've all had a photo with him. You know, people saying he's there. And this is because of the Ring magazine. It's been fantastic to see.
All right, should we have a bit of fun? Let's have a bit of fun. I know you guys have been doing a bit of homework, so let's kind of test your homework skills here. Let's see if we can collectively come together and do an all-time, should we do all-time? Pound for pound top 5.
Well, I'll go number 1.
Jump. All right, go on then.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Does anyone have any problems with Sugar Ray Robinson here being pound for pound number 1?
No.
Okay, Sugar Ray. Okay, number 2.
Muhammad Ali.
Oh, anyone have a? No one's got a problem. Barry, you're number 3. It's not easy. It's so hard. There's too many.
Roberto Duran.
No one can complain with Roberto Duran. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, I love it.
Sugar Ray
Number 5,
Leonard.
I'll finish it. Henry Armstrong.
Yes.
Some big names have missed out. Is there anyone from the last 15 to 20 years that you think, when it's all said and done, and the careers are continuing, could make that list? Is anyone knocking on the door to the top 15, top 20 pound for pound that's fighting now?
Fighting
right now.
Well, you'd have to say one half of the main event coming up very soon, Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
With what he's achieved as an amateur, as a professional, two-weight undisputed world champion. That is special. That's stuff of legends.
Yourself, you think anyone now could maybe be knocking on the door to that? Who?
No, Oya Inoue. I think the monster is going to be something special, not only in Japan, but all over the world.
Yeah, and do you know what? I mean, it's too early to say yet, but no, let's not give up hope on Shakur Stevenson. I think he's a precocious talent, and he might maybe get a few belts. He's got a few belts under him already, and he might go on to be an all-time great.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't it? I mean, Terence Crawford is doing incredible stuff as well. Two-weight undisputed. Still going. I mean, we could have the Canelo fight. If he were to fight Canelo at 168 and beat him, he's certainly, that man could be in the discussion in a few years to come as well. Jai Opetaia, big fight coming up for him, January 8th. Is that Spencer on the table? How does Spencer Oliver get on that table? Hey, what's going on? We're moments away, by the way, from this show beginning. Michael Buffer is going to be on stage. He's going to be introducing so many people that are going to be making speeches there. Lennox Lewis is going to make a speech. His Excellency, I believe, Turki Al-Sheikh is going to make a speech as well. They did ask me, but I said I was busy. They said, Ade, do you want to go out there and make a speech? I said, look, I'm kind of busy. Cuba Gooding Jr. in the house. Do you remember his boxing movie? Do you remember his boxing movie?
I saw that. I do.
Go on, what's it called?
I forgot.
Gladiator. Gladiator. It's called Gladiator. I almost feel like it gets overlooked because of the Gladiator. Frank Warren in the building as well. I feel that's the promoter table because I see Oscar De La Hoya in the background as well. This is good, isn't it? It's a proper collective. Yeah. It's amazing. It really is amazing. What's been your highlight of the night, Darren?
I mean, it's got to be meeting Roberto Duran for the first time. The man's a legend. I instantly sent the photograph to my dad, and my dad sent back in capital letters, wow. You know, he's a legend. He was my grandfather's favourite fighter, and for me, that was special. I remember being a kid, just wanting a box, wanting to win. Now I'm here as a super fan, rubbing shoulders with these great fighters. This is special. It really is.
You know, I don't know if Sergio realizes us Brits, the Ring magazine was almost our connection to the American and Mexican American fighters. Like, we used to get that Ring magazine and find out who the superstars were and when they were fighting. We were obsessed with what your countrymen were doing, Sergio.
Well, now the shoe's on the other foot, because now we see the covers, we see Tyson Fury, we see a bunch of UK great, and that's the thing about boxing, man. Once you have all eyes on the sport and you have all eyes on the magazine, then everyone is involved. It becomes an international sport, and that's the beauty of the sport. It's always been around. I mean, some of the greatest fighters, you could pick out a country, you could pick out a great name there, but everyone under one building, under one magazine, it's incredible.
Great to see Nick Ball there, by the way. He's had an incredible 18 months speaking to Teddy Atlas, probably getting a few words of advice. Frank Warren has done such a fantastic job for him. Your highlight of the night so far, Barry? Who have you seen? Who's impressed you?
I gotta be honest.
Ade Oladipo, what was that? Ade Oladipo, did you say?
It's been fantastic, but it was nice to see Bivol. Because I know, listen, there's some great fighters here, and he's not at their level yet. But I mean, just to see him healthy and back and really engaging with fans. After that must have been a crushing defeat for him, where he thought he'd done enough to win. He's back, he's healthy, looking confident, and just we've seen a great fight out now. We're going to see a great fight again, February the 22nd, and to see a man knowing in a few months, I'm going to see you go through torture again like you did to try and get the win.
Yeah, it's great to see Dimitri Bivol here as well, in good spirits. And as you say, when you're a fighter that's good and you lose your O, it can have, a negative effect. But he seems to be happy, smiling, and he knows, Darren, I guess, February 22nd, he goes again.
Yeah, he's of that ilk. He's one of those that has a case to be a future legend of the sport. And I'm so happy that the rematch has been made so quickly, and it's going to be a terrific battle as we look at these scenes again. It's special. Look at this, how grand this is. It's an honour to be here.
Yeah, I was saying a bit earlier to Dougie Fisher that when I think of my generation of the Ring magazine, I do think of Dougie Fisher, who was the editor, chief editor. I also think of Oscar De La Hoya. Obviously, Golden Boy bought the Ring magazine, but he was on the front cover so many times of the Ring magazine, Sergio. I almost feel like youngsters now just look at him as a promoter. They forget that he is one of the all-time great boxers.
One of the all-time greats, and he's from East LA. That's where I come from, and he's still a legend. And look, he's such a legend that old school fighters look at him, and he doesn't even look like a fighter. He's a promoter, a fighter, but an unbelievable person in and out of the ring.
Right, Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury were here. They've now left the building, rightly so. They do have something of an important fight coming up in a couple of days. But this is what they had to say about their memories and their stories of the Ring magazine.
I have collection for this Ring magazine when I young, maybe 20, 18 olds. My friend showed me a Ring magazine. Oh, look, this is a photo boxers, all boxers, Arturo Gatti, Muhammad Ali, Fraser. I said, wow, unbelievable. First time I remember my обложка. Cover, me and Tony Bellew.
Yes.
Yeah, I have. My mama say, oh my God, you're the cover. Wow, oh my God. I say, yes, I'm a cover. Yeah, I'm cool. When I grow, yeah, I live in village. One TV, and not color TV, like a just now I have opportunity was cover. For me, it's wow.
Ring magazine. I've been Ring magazine champion twice. This will be my third time ever winning it on Saturday night. Great belt, goes back 100 years. The holy grail of boxing, so they say. The Rocky Balboa belt. I think there was one on me and Mike Tyson. That was a great Ring magazine cover. Tyson and Tyson on the front. That was an epic moment for me. I think it's is the oldest reigning thing that's still alive. Goes back. It's an award as well. So you win world titles and you become the best at what you do, and you get awarded at Ring magazine. So I think it's a very prestigious thing to own. If you're a Ring magazine champion as well as world champion, then you're the number one in the division. Number 2s, 3s and 4s don't cut it.
We are moments away from this event starting. I can actually see Michael Buffer on stage. I can see the guests mingling. The problem is, everyone wants to talk to everyone. Everyone really should be seated right now, but you can't blame them. Everyone's like, 1 second, that's Arthur Abraham, that's Teddy Atlas, that's Daniel Dubois, and you can understand why people want to speak to everyone. It's great to hear the stories there, Darren, from Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. You know, when you are that level of a boxer, and it still brings a smile to your face when you remember your first time on the cover.
It was honestly heartwarming when you see what it meant to Alexander Usyk to show his mum. That was brilliant, and it shows you the sort of prestige the name of the magazine has across the world to all boxing fans. Legend, absolute legend right there.
I'll tell you one thing, when I was on the cover after the Contender...
Oh, here we go.
It's going to be perfect. I bought every single magazine I could possibly go. I went to the 7-Eleven, the convenience stores, everywhere. I just bought them all out to pass them out, and then it was a beautiful view.
Yeah, it is a special moment, isn't it? And it's nice to know that we are going to get it sort of rejuvenated, reinvented, if you like, again.
Before a lot of people didn't have TVs, especially when no one had a TV, obviously, when it was the magazine was first published. So you had to read about fights. Unless you were lucky enough to go to a venue and go to a fight, you had to read about it. So that's how important the magazine was. And it grows from there. And then for us, back over in Britain in the 80s, we wouldn't get to see all the American fights. You had to wait for the Ring magazine to come out. We had to wait to read it. And then you're invested in it. Because they get fabulous writers, they write the great stories, they put passion in there. So when you read it, you feel like you're in the fight. So your favourite fight didn't come from your eyes, they come from your eyes, they came from reading, not seeing. You had to read about them, and then you got to see the videos, and then you fell in love with them.
Yeah, I think it's so important as well that it comes back as a physical magazine. For the last couple of years, it's only been online. Now it will be physical again. And it is something, and I say that, and Sergio smiles, it's something about having the physical magazine. I mean, I can't do the online reading thing. That was the physical
I'm
magazine.
smiling because I'm anti-tech. I don't believe in iPads. I don't believe in. I mean, Darren Barker knows how bad I am with technology.
Really bad.
So look,
Really
I
bad.
love the fact. I love smelling it. I like the sound of the pages. I like turning it. You actually have it in your hand. You actually appreciate the pictures. That's the beauty of a magazine and a book.
Okay, it's been a fantastic evening so far. It really has been. Here are the best bits of what's been a great evening for the Ring magazine. This man. All right, it's time to get the show on the road. So many celebrities in the building, so many boxers from past and present, and who better to start the show than your MC, Mr. Michael Buffer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Ring Gala dinner as we celebrate 102 years of history, culminating in the launch of this legendary magazine into a new era. Now, if I may, I think the only person in this room older than me who just celebrated his 93rd birthday, Mr. Bob Arum. So I want to take you back in time for a personal story relating to Ring magazine. I remember in the very early 50s, I was a little kid and my dad let me stay up late to watch the rematch of Jersey Joe Walcott and Rocky Marciano. And I got a big story from Dad about how Jersey Joe was now 38 years old and a ring legend that almost won that first fight. And he got stopped in the first round this time. And I was heartbroken because I was always a fan of the underdog. And Ring magazine came into my life in those early years. I'd get a baseball magazine, I'd get the football magazine, and when we took vacations, I would always travel with these magazines and reread them over and over. And it was always a Ring magazine. Back then, I think it was either 25 cents or 50 cents, but out of $1 a week allowance, that was a lot of money. And many years later, before I got involved actually working in the sport of boxing, living in the Philadelphia area, Muhammad Ali opened up a training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. And it was a 2-hour drive. And it was after he had lost that fight to Kenny Norton where he had broken his jaw, and people thought at the age of 32 that the greatest of all times, Muhammad Ali, was finished. So I would make that 2-hour drive and just figured, well, maybe I'll get a chance just to meet the champ. And it turned out that for over the next year and a half, 2 years, I pretty regularly went there to visit. And one thing I noticed was in the special gym that he made, it was like in a log cabin. Leroy Neiman, the famous painter, had painted a picture of Ali life-size on the wall. And there were a few photographs of Ali in fights and a couple of magazine covers, Ring magazine, of course, with Ali on them. Now, as a devoted fan of the world of boxing, this is before the internet, I used to get all those Ring magazines. I couldn't afford a subscription, but I would go and read them in a drugstore until I got kicked out, or I would just, buy the magazine. And I had saved a whole stack of those. So one day when I went to visit Ali in his training camp, I had taken the cover off all the magazines that had Ali's picture on them. And I brought them and I said, "Champ, would you like to put these on the wall?" There must have been about 30 of them. And at least 20 were Ring magazine. And after dinner, I was invited to dinner too. What a thrill that was. We went to the gym, and with Scotch tape, we took and put each magazine cover up on the wall. And as a fan, and being in the same room with the great Muhammad Ali, we didn't speak. We just went about our business. A little more to the left, put this one up here. Oh, I like that one. And it was probably one of the greatest nights of my life. And of course, it involved Ring Magazine. And I've always been a fan, like many of us in this room. We think back to those days that when we used to buy that magazine and read about Rocky Graziano and Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Patterson, Ingemar Johansson, all the great fighters from the 50s that were current at that time. So that's just my little trip into nostalgia with Ring Magazine. So ladies and gentlemen, before we speak to some of our very special guests, I'd like to remind everyone and remind ourselves of what the Ring Magazine is all about.
Through 102 years of history, we've seen 1,230 issues, 10,022 fights, 5,011 knockouts, 4,580,054 jabs, 100,220 rounds, 33 undisputed champions, and only one Muhammad Ali. But we're not stopping here. We're ready for the next Muhammad Alis. For new undisputed champions. More rounds, more jabs, more knockouts, more fights, more issues. The Ring, the legacy continues.
The new era is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. So at this time, please welcome the Ring Magazine Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Doug Fisher.
Wow. Thank you, Michael. That was a moving story. And I think anybody over a certain age, over 40, they all have those type of memories about Ring Magazine. It has a very special place in the hearts of all boxing fans. And I never thought I would see a celebration this big, this lavish, and with this many special people, this many VIPs, this many iconic people, people who make this industry run. I'm just looking out here and I'm seeing fighters and trainers and pundits and managers and representatives from promotional companies and sanctioning bodies and networks and platforms that broadcast boxing, obviously members of the media. It's just, you guys are the industry of boxing. We don't have a sport without that business, as crazy as that business can be at some times. But this celebration of the Ring is a celebration of all of you. It's a celebration of boxing, past, present, and future. And that's what I see when I look into this audience. And that's what Ring Magazine represents. Ring Magazine, obviously, no other publication can present the past the way Ring Magazine can, because it is boxing history. It goes back more than 100 years. And it's chronicled the sport over the many eras that not just shaped the sport, but shaped society and changed world history. It started in the 1920s, the Roaring '20s, the Jazz Age, and it continued through the Great Depression and World War II, the baby boom, the TV age, the Cold War, the Civil Rights era, right up into my era. I was born in 1970. So you know that my hero was the same as Michael Buffer's. It's Muhammad Ali. And he was my entree into this sport. And not long after Ali, I had a new boyhood idol and hero in Sugar Ray Leonard. And it makes my heart soar to see Roberto Duran, he's somewhere around here, to see him as healthy as he is,
and to see how beloved he is, because he was the villain. And that rivalry between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, that's what really made me love boxing. So, whereas Muhammad Ali introduces me to the sport, Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, and those type of rivalries that we saw unfold over the 80s, that made me love the sport. That made me want to learn about the sport. And how do I learn about it? Ring Magazine. So it's, I just want to bow to Roberto Duran and everybody of his generation. And I want to, yes, definitely. I want to recognize the fighters that carried that torch into the 90s, and by the end of the 90s, I'm a member of the media and very, very lucky and privileged to cover the careers of fighters who are considered modern greats. I can see Vladimir Klitschko at the end of this table down here. Oscar De La Hoya is somewhere around here, and a very special thanks to the Golden Boy, because he bought this magazine in 2007, and he kept it alive to see its 100th birthday, and even beyond its 100th birthday. We're just ending our 102nd year in existence. But to guys like Oscar, and my friend Steve Kim is here, my friend and cohort, we talk about it all the time. That was amazing. They didn't just give us big events. Fighters like Oscar De La Hoya and his peers, like Felix Tito Trinidad, Fernando Vargas, Sugar Shane Mosley, can't forget Ike Bazooka Corte. It's not just that the Golden Boy fought them, they fought each other. And they were big events, and they were great fights. And it gave my career meaning, and beyond that, it fed me as a boxing fan. It was a lot of fun. It was incredible. It was, as Steve Kim will tell me, it was a hell of a ride. And amazingly, the journey continues. Thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. We have a new era of Ring Magazine. And what is that new era of the print publication going to look like? Well, print is back, and it's going to be a monthly. But if you want an idea, if you want a sneak peek of what to expect, find you one of these. Our December special with Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury on the cover. I want you to seek out this magazine because not a lot were printed. It's definitely a collector's issue, but it's quality to the next level. It's more pages. It's much heavier paper. If you look at it, the art is beautiful. I want you to admire it. I want you to open it up and look at the new design. I want you to see that there's new departments. But most importantly, even though this thing is beautiful, it weighs a pound, you could put it on your coffee table, and it's like a beautiful coffee table book, but I want you to read this magazine. I want you to take it into the bathroom with you. I want you to take it with you onto airplanes. I want you to read it in bed before you go to sleep, because the articles are just as quality as the paper that it's printed on. And in particular, with this issue, I want you to read the Q&A interviews with Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, because it is a reminder that these aren't your average fighters. These aren't your average articles. Men like Usyk and Fury, they are unique and they are outstanding human beings. And you get that when you read these articles. And it reminds you how lucky we are to be in this era, and how lucky we are to have a venerable publication, an institution in boxing around to cover amazing fighters and human beings like Usyk and Fury. And when you read these articles, it reminds you that they're going to give us something very special on Saturday night. And it's just an honor for Ring Magazine to be there and to chronicle it. And I just want to tell you that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has a very ambitious vision and plan for not just the print publication, but for every branch of the Ring Magazine brand. And my good friend Rick Reno will be up here to tell you more about that. But I just want to thank you all for being here. And I want to tell His Excellency that me and my team, my staff, we are honor-bound to help you realize your vision with this magazine, because it's for the betterment of this institution, this magazine, but also the betterment of the sport that we love. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. You know, Doug, you mentioned something that's very interesting when you said that we become fans, and when you love a fighter, his opponents become the villain. And I can remember being a Muhammad Ali fan, of course, Joe Frazier and George Foreman, you know, that they were the enemy. And through the years, you know, I've gotten to know them and become friends. And people that are involved in the sport find out that so many fighters are just sweethearts. They're just great guys in and out of the ring. And they do what they have to do in the ring, but I just remember how I felt about that. And at this time, let's bring up another member of the Ring family. It's a pleasure to introduce the Chief Operating Officer of the Ring, Rick Reno.
First, I want to thank everybody for attending this event. Today marks officially the new era of Ring Magazine. The company has a vision, and there's several goals. First, we want to elevate the sport of boxing as a whole. We want to bring back the young fans, the young audience back to the sport, while at the same time satisfying the current audience. Earlier, we officially launched our social media channels. Please check them out. A lot of great content is going to be posted on there today and in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. Next month, we intend to launch our state-of-the-art website and app. We've been working on this diligently for weeks and months. There is nothing else that's going to be like it out there on the market. Every bell and whistle imaginable. Breaking news, top-notch written content, podcasts, prize giveaways. In the future, we have plans for interactive games that will captivate fans. There's nothing else like it. We already have in the works a fantasy league component, which is going to be similar to what they're doing right now in the Premier League, with one key difference: our prizes will be bigger. Also, I have to talk about next month, where we're planning a major awards ceremony. Now, I've seen the plans, and there's nothing else like it. It's going to be on the level of the Oscars, every major award show that's out there. And I guarantee in the coming years, after next year moving forward, this will be the premier event in this industry. Every year moving forward, this will be a can't-miss event. We have so many things in the works right now. I wish I could give you some hints about it, but I have a feeling Michael will get a signal to throw me off the stage. So, in closing, I just want to say to watch this space carefully. Once again, I want to thank everyone, and there's going to be a lot of things to come.
Now, one of my favorite introductions, and I've done it a few times over my history in the ring, Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring, podium that is, standing 6'5", weighing in at 248 pounds, from London, England. As a professional, his record stands at 41 victories, 32 wins by knockout. He has 2 defeats, and by way of rematch, he defeated every man he ever fought in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Thank you. It's great to be here at the ring. It's great to be here at the ring announcement of the magazine. It's great that Turki Al-Sheikh has taken it over because we want to see great stories like I remember when I was growing up. I used to look at the magazine and say, hey, you know, these are some great stories, great pictures. I was excited to see the great stories and the pictures in the magazines. Until I was on the magazine. I was on there on the front page at least 12 times. There's people out there that are collecting them and having me sign them. So I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that, you know, there's not going to be any politics in it. The Ring Magazine is a magazine that we used to look at and see who was rated, who was #1, who was coming out. Even down to the interviews of, you know, different boxers like Marvelous Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, and all the other fighters in the world. So I'm very happy. Congratulations for the first 100 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 100 years of the Ring Magazine. So I think everybody should give Turk Al-Sheikh a hand and say thank you. And we look forward to the future of boxing and for what the Ring Magazine is going to do for boxing as well. Thank you.
Here's another name that I've introduced a few times in the past. And now coming to the ring wearing black tie. He's an Olympic gold medal champion as a professional in the ring. 39 victories, 30 knockouts to his credit. And he is the former junior lightweight world champion, former lightweight world champion, former super lightweight world champion, former 2-time welterweight world champion, former super welterweight world champion, and former middleweight champion of the world from East LA and the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I feel honored to be here to mark a great moment for boxing. This is a moment that marries the past with the present to ensure the future of one of our sport's greatest treasures. Tonight, we hand the reins of this legacy brand to one of the sport's newest entrants, but someone who has made an outsized impact in a short amount of time. Today, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh officially takes the helm of the Ring magazine. For over a century, Ring magazine has been the gold standard in boxing journalism, known as the Bible of boxing. It has showed the triumphs, the trials, and the timeless moments that define the sport. Its pages have told the stories of legends like Muhammad Ali, like Sugar Ray Robinson, like my favorite, Roberto Duran, Mike Tyson, even myself, and celebrated the spirit of countless fighters who dared to dream. To hold the Ring magazine championship belt is to be recognized as the best, not by a sanctioning body with its own interests, but by the people. When I acquired Ring magazine years ago, I saw it not just as a magazine, but as a guardian of boxing's history. I sought to honor the traditions while bringing it into a new era where its voice could resonate with the next generation of fans and fighters. It was a labor of love, rooted in my own passion for the sport and a deep respect for its history. Today, I am filled with confidence as I pass this torch to Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki is a man with an unyielding love for boxing. His profound understanding of the sport's history make him the ideal leader for this prestigious brand. He sees Ring magazine not just as a publication, but as a legacy to preserve and expand for the future generations. Under Turki's leadership, I am confident that the Ring magazine will continue to uphold its core value of integrity, excellence, and respect for the sport. But more than that, it will thrive. Turki will ensure that Ring magazine remains the ultimate authority in boxing. So tonight, let us celebrate this new chapter. Let us honor Turki Al-Sheikh for his dedication and vision, and let us look ahead with excitement and hope for what's to come. Together, we keep the flame of boxing's rich history burning bright. Thank you, Turki, for embracing this legacy with the care and passion it deserves. The Ring magazine is yours, and with it, the trust of millions who love this beautiful sport. Here's to the past, the present, and the future of the Ring magazine. Thank you.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, Oscar, because at this time I would like to invite His Excellency to come up to the stage. We have a little something special right now.
Thank you, Oscar, for everything. And thank you to keep the magazine for a long time. And you will be inside our hearts, and you will be the ambassador of the magazine as long you live, inshallah. Thank you. Thank you.
Stage for a very special moment, because at this time we'd like to invite His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh to push a button to start a special light show for the beginning of a new era for Ring magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the ring! I have just one more thing to say, ladies and gentlemen. It's dinner time.
Well done to everyone. I enjoyed that. It's great to hear from Michael Buffer, Oscar De La Hoya, Lennox Lewis, etc., etc. Has this been reinforced? Because there's quite a few of us here now on this stage, as well as about 10 cameramen. But let's go down the line. Jamie, fantastic work on the red carpet. If someone can pass Jamie a mic. Jamie, give me your highlight of the evening so far. What did you enjoy?
Neymar.
I knew it was going to be Neymar.
I had to really try and keep it together.
Yeah.
I think I just about did, but the lip was going, but amazing. What a night, incredible.
And he knew a bit of boxing as well, didn't he, Neymar?
He did. His shadow boxing wasn't bad either.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't see that on camera. That's a shame.
That's a shame.
Go on,
never
Dev.
say never.
I'll tell you what, Francis Ngannou, considering he's not a boxer, the way he spoke about it with so much passion and love, I love that. So he's a big ring fan, so great to see him again.
Great to see you as well here, Dev. Should we do it in that order? Darren, go on.
I would have to say, seeing the look on Sergio's face, him being in awe when he see my article on the big screen, I would have to say.
Yeah, Barry Jones?
Just being around greatness.
Oh, look at you. That's a
you
great box ticked, isn't it? Fantastic.
Really
go on, Sergio Mora. Your highlight.
Watching Daniel Dubois, the heavyweight champion, just wander around the room.
Just float around like nothing's
nice
going on in Greece. Claudia?
Oh, I had two great moments.
No, one second. You can't break the rules here and just say two. It's one each.
I can. I'm a lady.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So first, sharing this time with you guys, making history, 102 years, easier said than done. But seeing Roberto Manos de Piedra Duran here with us is just priceless.
It's great. Honestly, it is great. My moment, this is really box ticking here, but are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Seeing His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, knowing that he put all this together and what he's done in the sport in the last 18 months, I think has just changed the sport forever. So I think seeing Turki come in and sit down with so many of the special people here, not just boxers, actors as well, Cuba Gooding Jr., does anyone know, I've asked this question already, very quickly, tell me to wrap it, I'm not wrapping it, you're telling me to wrap it, I'm not wrapping it. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in a boxing movie. Do you know the boxing movie? Gladiator. Everyone's failing. I don't know why everyone's failing this. Anyway,
Russell Crowe was a Gladiator.
Yeah, it was Russell. Yeah. No, but it's Gladiator as well. It's called Gladiator. It's Gladiator as well. All right, we're going to let everyone eat. We're going to go down and get some food as well. A new era starts. Ring Magazine 2.0 kicks off from now, and hopefully another 102 years of it.